Hey everybody, it's Pastor John with your Midweek moment for this week. And this week what we're going to give you is one final tour of the church in process before the painters are all done and we're ready to move back in on the 20th. So why don't you come on in with me? So here at the back of the church, as I said the last time we did this a couple of weeks ago, pretty much everything is done. Really, the only thing that's changed back here since the last time you were in is right over here. Because you can see that the closet doors have been repainted and rehung. And that's pretty much it for the back of the church. Everything is pretty much done here. The walls are done, the ceilings, all the trim has been repainted. So why don't we go forward then into the sanctuary, because that's where all the action is right now. Oh, one thing I can show you here while we're in the lecture room is I can show you the shears on the windows. Right now, when we rehung the curtains, we hung the valances at the top, and right now we've got these shears on the windows, which let a lot more light into the room than the old heavy curtains did. And if you want more light in, all we would need to do is pull them back a little bit. The other important thing they do is they hide the windows, which are absolutely filthy. So that's it for the lecture room. Let's go into the sanctuary. So as you can see in here, the staging is gone, the scaffolding is gone, and the reason that's all gone is because the ceiling, including the trim and everything else, has been completely painted. So the ceiling is done. All of the walls are done. All of the trim for the walls are done. If we take a little step around this way, you can see that the organ case is finished and the pipes have been reinstalled so that the organ is ready to go. You can also see here, there are three basically things four that remain to get done before the painters are finished. One, they're not done in the narthex, and we'll take a look at that in a minute. Then they've got to do the pews and the pulpit, and then they have to do the floors. And you can see they're getting ready to do the pulpit. Once again, as they did everywhere around the building, they've started by sort of filling and sealing all the cracks in the wood. And since, this pulpit has been in existence since 1849, and since it's been a number of years living in a barn, the wood was in some spots a little bit the worse for wear. But once it's repainted, it will look just all nice and beautiful. It'll look just the way it did back in 1849. If you take a look at the pews, you can see that everything has been primed. All of the pews have been primed. There's one coat of the brown finish on them. So these get two, after their priming, they get two coats of regular paint, and then they'll be ready to go. And that's the case, you can see, with all the pews. All the pews have been primed, and the trim has been painted at least once. So, I'd imagine it wouldn't take them all that long to get these finished up. I have to say, one interesting thing about the windows, I don't know if you noticed this the last time we were in here, but they have an amazing substance that they spray on the windows to keep paint off of them. When it's sprayed on, it looks exactly like paint, but it's not. It's this film. And when they were done painting the trim and when they were done painting the windows, all they did was that they stuck their finger under the little film and they just popped right off all the windows. So it was a great way to keep the windows clean while they were doing the painting. So we're going to go back now into the narthex. So as you can see, we're now really in the spot of the church where all of the action is. And this is the narthex, of course, and you can see once again that they're getting ready to do the final painting. There are a bunch of cracks and things over here that have been sealed and have been primed. So this is all getting ready to go. In fact, if I could get up there, I could actually show you a picture or a little image of what the entire church will look like when it's done, because the balcony is completely finished.
You can come on up, everybody.
We're going to go on up. What I'm going to do actually is we're going to turn the camera off for a second, because it's kind of tough going through here, and I want to make sure Jesse gets upstairs safely. So we'll see you all upstairs in the balcony. Alrighty, here we are, up in the balcony, and as you can see, everything here is done. The pews have been repainted, the trim on the pews has been repainted, the walls are done, the ceiling is done, the central window is done, and even the floors are done. So if you want a really good idea of what it's going to be like when you come back to church on the 20th, well, right now, this is the best looking spot in the church, because this really gives you a good impression of what the church is going to look like when it's all done. It's just going to be a spectacular space. And we are just as happy as we can be that we're going to get this job finished up on time, and that we are going to be able to get everything set back up. And we're going to be able to welcome all of you back to church on Sunday, June 20th. And that's it for your midweek moment this week. So have a good rest of the week, and we'll see you here in church on the 20th.